And that man was Vernon Jordan.
Yes, it was.
We're back for segment number 3.
He was doing like the guys from the trailer park in here.
Oh, yeah. We had Dan Miller and the boys in here, and every time he would talk, he would hit the microphone.
And it would swing over and hit my
it was
computer.
like pow, pow every time. But I said, they got their own show, the live from the trailer park. I said, you guys are in here trying to sabotage our show.
Yeah, I said, man, you guys come in here out the trailer park trying to tear my shit up.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
But we are back with Vernon Jordan, and right now he's finishing up with Papa Doc.
Yeah, back right about that time, 82, 83. You know, we were playing, you know, the clubs and traveling a little bit.
Yeah.
We actually played a bar called Chasers in Princeton, West Virginia.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh,
That's right around my neck of the woods.
But we would open up for Nantucket, Doc Holliday, PKM.
You ever heard of a band called Anus Mangler?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that's a little bit later. I remember the first time I saw them. But and we were fans of these bands. We would learn their songs.
Oh, okay.
You know, so if it was a show, if it was just us, you know, we would play our cover stuff, and we play our little 45, and we would play a couple of Nantucket songs, you know, Time Bomb or something like that, and we would do some of Doc Holliday stuff. Yeah. And then if we happened to open up for Nantucket, we would do our Doc Holliday stuff. Yeah. And if it was Doc Holliday, we'd do the Nantucket stuff.
Oh. But you didn't have the nerve to play
Nantucket
stuff. I wonder, somebody's had the balls to do that.
Well, actually, I think Blind Driver did that one time. They were opening up for Nantucket. This was at Papillon's, and their last song was Long Way to the Top.
Oh, yeah. But they probably did the AC/DC.
Well, you know, and from what I heard, you know, Nantucket got pissed off about it.
Of course.
But it wasn't really their song, you know?
Yeah, it's AC/DC.
Yeah. You know. But
that's
anyway,
weird too. I mean, that's weird how they ended up covering that song, you know.
Well, they
get the credit for it most of the time.
They got to be real good friends with AC/DC.
Oh, okay.
There was a huge club in Greensboro back then. Actually, it's right next door to where I work. It was called Louis Rock City. And check out this bill. It was Nantucket, the Cars, and AC/DC.
Wow.
And Nantucket was the headliner.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But from what I understand,
we opened for the Nantucket out at Riders one time. They were pretty nice guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they were always cool with us. I got to know. I didn't meet Kenny Soul until we started opening up for PKM.
How are those guys, Mike and Pee Wee and those guys?
Oh man, the baddest 3-piece band.
They make a lot of noise for 3 boys, don't they?
You know, one of the baddest bands, period. Ever.
What was their big hit? Something about makes me. Don't take much.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I mean, those guys, man. I mean, it was just 3 chords and a 6-pack of beer and a woman by your side and just fucking rip it, you know.
Yeah, that sounds like that.
I mean, they were just badass, and they wasn't no bullshit about them, you know. It was just, you know, grab the sticks, grab the guitar, and just fucking tear it up, you know.
Cool.
Just, they were just so much. They were fun.
Yeah.
You know.
And you know, when Mike was singing, he was always smiling. You know, he always had that big smile on his face.
Maybe he got into Chris's magic.
Yeah, I mean, he would be
sack.
pouring sweat, but you could tell he was having a great time.
Yeah. But you know, another band that was around back then was Cerebus.
Oh yeah,
Scott Board
with the
Metal God.
I remember the first time I saw Cerebus. This was at Joker's 3. Walked in, and I could tell that Crocus song, Screaming in the Night, you know, I could hear the opening guitar part, you know, and the drums were coming in. You know, I was looking at the stage. It was pretty much dark. I think they might have had some of those those beams, you know, that come down. Rain lights. Mm-hmm. And they had the dry ice, you know, the fog, you know, and I mean, it was just rolling on
back when everybody
floor,
put on a show.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was cool as hell. And I didn't see no lead singer. And all of a sudden, here comes this voice. Sons of vengeance, won't you rescue me? Only a whole lot better than that.
Yeah.
And I was like, where the fuck did that come from? And it was Scott.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And wow.
Did you and Scott ever play together? I mean, y'all been around the same circles forever.
Yeah, you know, well, we just kind of, you know, bumped into each other from time to time, you know, and
I think Jimmy played with him at one time. I think everybody, they've kind of just swapped band members.
You know, all of his band, they knew all of us, and we knew all of them, you know, just, you know, we didn't buddy around or anything, you know, but we just, you know, it was like, hey man, how you doing, you know, that kind of thing. Scott,
started out as a drummer, right?
Yeah.
Singer, and then went to the front.
Scott was a good drummer. You know, just solid. You know.
He said he wasn't a big double bass guy and all that stuff. That's what he told us.
Yeah. I don't think he had double bass. I think he had just the one kick drum. Yeah. But anyway.
So where did you go after the Papa Doc?
Well, Papa Doc kind of ran its course, and we had some internal issues, and there was another band that was kind of a southern rock band like us, and what happened was the two bands kind of merged, and we renamed the band Dillinger, and that was probably late '83, I guess, and we started, you know, getting back out playing, and you know, we had decent PA and lights by then, and a sound man that actually knew what he was doing, and you know, started gaining a little bit of notoriety, and you know, things were going good. And early '84, I go out to DOHRS to see Diamonds. They were one of our favorite bands. We would go see them every chance.
They were huge, but I mean,
we would go see them every chance we got.
Now, where were they out of?
Well, basically, they were based out of both Roanoke and Greensboro.
Oh, okay.
Mostly Roanoke. Brent Kleinville, the singer, he lived in Greensboro, but he was from Roanoke. And Fred and Jim Lewis, they were from Roanoke, too. And Fran Sandifer, the other guitarist, who is with the Dickens, has been with them now for several years.
Yeah. I didn't know he was...
Yeah, he was from, you know, Greensboro. But anyway, I had a buddy, Danny Hazlip, that had a band called Borderline. You guys know Billy Platt from Brian Myers' band.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he and Billy played together, I think, at one time, because he lives up that way. But Danny comes up to me. He says, I ain't trying to start no trouble or nothing, but Dana's getting ready to quit. I just thought you might want to know.
Might be a good opportunity.
And I was just like, whoa. I mean, this is like, you know, the dream gig.
Right.
Yeah.
You know. So I got a hold of Brent on the break, and I was like, dude, what have I got to do to get this gig?
Seize the opportunity.
You know. Yeah. But nothing happened at that point. And I just kept it to myself, and I really didn't think I had that much of a shot at it, you know. I mean, the guy they had was good, but I felt like I was just as good, if not a little better.
Right.
You know. But anyway, about a month later, February, I guess, we opened up for them. We did a show with them. And by then, it was like pretty much, dude, you're in the running. You know, this is, you know.
But your band didn't know that, you know, you had talked to them.
Well, I think by then they kind of knew something was up. But, you know, I wasn't the first choice. I don't even think I was the second choice, really. But I'll never forget it. We were doing our set, and DOHRS was kind of a long, narrow club, and there was lights, and it was lit up in the back where the pool tables were. And I remember seeing all five of those guys in the standard rock and roll critique pose.
Yeah, we've
like
all
this,
seen that.
You know, with the arms folded, all five of them in a row. You know,
I tell you,
just watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
You're like, oh God, don't let me screw up this part.
You know, so, but we get done, you know, and then they get up and they do their usual smoking ass set, you know. And the drummer, Dana, he came up to me after they were done, and he said, dude, he said, you got it.
Wow.
I mean, he said, don't say nothing to nobody, you know, because, but, you know, their first pick, the guy they really wanted, was a guy that Brent had worked with before. But his dad was real sick with cancer or something like that, and he just couldn't go on the road.
Right.
So, anyway, I guess it was a few days later, Brent called me on the phone, and he was like, you know, you ready? Let's do this thing. And I mean, I just screaming, jumping up, down, hollering.
Hell yeah.
You know, he said, you know, he gave me Fran's number. He said, go over to Fran's house. He's got the tapes. You know, start listening to them. We're going to Roanoke in a few weeks, and then we're going to Charleston, West Virginia for a whole week. We can work you in up there, and you know that's how it worked out. You know, that's probably the single biggest thing I've been a part of.
Right.
You know, and I went from just doing these little local things around here, you know, all of a sudden, here I was playing the Magic Attic and the Castaways, and I played Roadies in Goldsboro.
Oh, yeah.
I played, you know, Charlotte, Roanoke, you know, Petersburg, Richmond, Virginia, just, you know, West Virginia, you know, on the road.
You took a big giant step from...
You know, I mean, the learning curve was like frickin' almost straight up. I mean, I knew 75% of the show, but it wasn't enough just to know how to play the songs. You know, it was about how to be in a band of that caliber.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to play the way that they needed it to be done.
Yeah.
I had to start playing a hell of a lot harder physically. I mean, they wanted that 4 on the floor and that 2 and 4 on the snare shoved up their butts on every song.
Yeah.
Because we were playing these huge rooms.
Right.
And when one guy is, you know, 20 feet over here and the other guy's 20 feet over there, and Brent's 20 feet out in front of me, you got to fill up that space.
Yeah. Right.
So I was back there, I mean, just beating my brains out. And it, you know, it took a little time to get, you know, conditioned to that, you know. And, you know, I owe all those guys, you know, a huge debt of gratitude. You know, I thought I was a rock drummer until I got in that band.
Yeah, you always want to surround yourself with musicians better than you because it forces your level up.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, and every band I get in, I try to do that.
Dave kind of did the complete opposite.
And I'm still looking. I'm still looking.
Yeah, he's still looking. And one day he will get there.
But being in that band, I mean, I learned a lot of things, you know, not just on the stage, but off the stage too.
Yeah, how to conduct yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And, you know, I mean, that was just, you know, it was, you know, like that movie Rockstar, you know, all of a sudden I was just, boom.
Yeah.
And here I was hanging out with the Sidewinder guys and the Sugar Creek guys, and they were all kind of like taking me under their wing and giving me advice and patting me on the back and, you know, just really treating me with respect, you know, and I'm just like, you know, blown away by that, you know, and, you know, still am when I think about it, you know.
It's a little humbling, you know, when you think about where you come from and then where you are now. And you know, Chris used to bust my balls. Speaking of the movie Rockstar, you know, when I joined Fair Warning, he would always say at some point, and a lot of times it was on mic, "Yeah, I grew up with pictures of these guys on my wall, man, and now I'm one." And he would do that every time, like if he was introducing the band or something. And I would sit there and go, "Oh my God."
But that band, being in that band, made a rock drummer out of me.
Yeah.
I like to tell people I graduated from BCU, Brent Kleinville University. I mean, he used to be a drummer himself.
Yeah.
You know, so I just learned so much from those guys.
And how many years?
You know, and I'm sure, you know, for the first couple of weeks, I was probably a pain in the ass to be with on stage, but I kind of grew into it, you know.
Right.
Did they ever come up to you like right after a set and go, You shit the bed on that one.
That's what I do today.
For like the
As a
first
matter of
couple
fact,
of weeks, Brian would just go, "Man, you shit the bed."
There was
on that
one night at there was one night at the Magic Attic, and I didn't find this out until a few years ago. I was talking to Mitch Hull one night. I'd gone to see 5-1 at Plum Crazies.
Yeah.
There was one night at the Magic Attic that I was there, and he was in the crowd.
Oh, really?
He was like 15 years old at the time, and
said,
he
"One
saw.
day, man."
Oh, he was probably already better than me then.
Yeah. Well, see, that's what it's all about. Is there were guys that I used to go see. You mentioned roadies, the Attic. Lots of guys that I would go see. Not only bass players, but just musicians in general, and they would inspire me to be better. And hopefully, that's what we are all doing. I know that's what I hope I'm doing. I'm inspiring some 16, 18-year-old kid in the garage that's going to be the next big thing, around here. And that has nothing to do with my skill, but might have something to do with, hey, I saw that guy when he was walking down the thing. Of course, Brian does that too. He gets on one side, I get on the other. But
it's all about me.
It's
Screw
all about that
everybody
younger
else.
talent, keeping it going, keeping the music
Yeah,
alive.
there's a couple other drummers that names you may recognize that were in Diamonds after me. Tim Poole
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
from Sucker Punch.
yeah.
Yeah, Tim was a Diamonds alumni.
Wow.
Diamonds.
And Gary Hall from Roanoke. You guys remember that band Persona Non Grata?
Oh, yeah.
Heard the
Yeah.
name.
He was
I
in
saw
that.
him at Riders.
He was in that band. He was in that Journey tribute, Frontiers.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And he was, up until a couple of years ago, I guess, he was in that Cowboy Kid Rock tribute band.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I know you.
Bet that'd
talking
be
about.
interesting being a cowboy, a Kid Rock
Yeah.
band.
Great player. He's a hoot too. He's funny. But anyway, yeah, I wasn't in that band, but from March to I think Labor Day weekend of '84.
Really?
6
Wow.
months.
I thought you were there like years.
No.
Of course, it seems that way.
Well, at least you got the rep. Everybody says, yeah, Vernon was in that band. I thought.
Well, I mean, that being in that band, that pretty much made my local reputation for a long, long
Right,
time.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that how you got with Jackie after that, or he heard about you being?
No, I knew Jackie. I had seen him, back in the Papa Doc days. He had a band called Sniper. And we all went to see them, and I was totally blown away.
Yeah.
And I was like telling my guys, like, man, these guys are better than us. Oh, no, they're not.
Did you ever go to his
Well,
place?
they were fucking better than us, you know.
What was it, Rockin' Jacks or?
Oh, that was after.
that later
that's
on.
way
Yeah.
after. Yeah.
But what happened was, while I was in Diamonds, that was when I got the call to come work for the post office.
Hell of an opportunity.
Well, what happened was my last weekend in Myrtle Beach with Diamonds, I was in the lobby of the motel we stayed at, and Al Eddins from Max Warrior
Oh wow, yeah.
happened to, we bumped into each other in the lobby.
I think he lives in Asheville now, doesn't he?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, said, I heard you quitting. I said, yeah, he said, well, what do you think about maybe coming with us? And I said, you guys are awesome. I appreciate it greatly. You guys are great. They did a lot of the same clubs that we did.
Yeah.
And a lot of the same music, although they were always more heavier
Yeah.
than we were.
Always
But-
loved to watch Scott Atkins play. He was a young 19-year-old hotshot at the time. Really great guitar player.
But I just told him, basically, well, I appreciate it, dude, but I got this opportunity to take this full-time job, and I mean, it's not, it's a career thing,
Yeah, it's not rock star, but
And so he was just like, well, cool, man, wish you the best of luck. Little did I know that
they went on to be
down the road, they went on to become Firehouse.
bye, baby, bye bye.
But
you never know.
You never know. I mean, I was probably as good as the guy they had, but I certainly wasn't good enough to be at the level that they wound up being.
Yeah, yeah.
At least not then.
Who was still in the band that ended up? It was C.J. Snare was the singer.
And Perry Richardson.
Perry Richardson, yeah.
The bass player.
He was actually in Nantucket for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
with Trace Atkins now.
Damn.
Playing bass.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He made the jump from rock to country.
Wow.
Who was, he kind of got things stirring up in the back of my head when I was thinking about the Saddle Brown project a while back.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, you never know. I mean, I might not would have meshed personality-wise with those guys. It's so much more to it than just knowing how to play.
Oh, yeah.
You definitely
You
have
gotta
to bring
get
your
along
A
with
game
everybody.
every night. I
You
mean,
you got to
there's
be
the-
able to relate on a certain level, and
Well, I've always said you gotta have just like a marriage or a relationship. You gotta have that chemical relationship,
Chemistry.
that chemistry. Yeah.
NASCAR teams talk about it all the time. Baseball, basketball, football teams, they talk about it all the time. It's
Yeah.
chemistry.
I mean, you can have all the stars, but if they don't play together.
Right. And I know lots of bands that they might sound great together, make beautiful music, so to speak, but they just don't get along. I mean, like everybody in this band gets along really good, except for all the damn farting and burping and going on all over the
Pissing
place.
and moaning.
Who's to say that I would have wound up, doing that,
Yeah.
And I don't have any regrets,
Yeah.
I mean, you've had a great career, though. I mean, you've always been right up there in some of the top bands at all times.
I've always been in a pretty good band.
Yeah.
Some better than others, but I've always been in a good band that's gone out
I've
and
never
worked.
heard anybody
and,
say, "What happened to Vernon, man? He's playing with these guys." Not yet, anyway.
And I've only lost one audition. A few years back, I hadn't been in Dan Fino very long.
Toys.
Yeah,
I remember you talking to you about. You said you were going to try out.
And I really went into it kind of half-heartedly.
Right.
Because I was really enjoying, being in Dan Fino.
Yeah.
But Toys played, the kind of stuff they did. That was my stuff,
What you cut your teeth on, so to speak.
And I really didn't prepare for it, like I should have. It was my own fault. And plus, too, getting back to the personality thing, I just don't think that I really meshed with those guys.
No. Right.
I mean, they were nice guys, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think that I would have gotten along with them real good.
Yeah. No, I didn't know those guys well. I mean, I've seen them play a few times.
Yeah, we opened for them a couple times.
I mean, I went in, I played Dead or Alive, I Can't Drive 55, Crazy Bitch. I forget what else it was. I played this that Tesla song, Modern Day Cowboy.
Oh, okay. I
Great
thought
song.
you were going to say Love Song. That was so big.
I actually learned that in the car on the way to the audition.
I remember talking to you before you went down there.
But that was, and I told them that. I said, guys, I think this is a cool song, and I learned it on the way here because I wanted them to see that I could pick stuff up quick.
Sure. Well, let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back and wrap up with the final where you ended up, which of course Dan Fino, which of course people might know it as the Billy Creason and the Dan Fino band. But we're going to come back.
I like calling it Vernon Jordan
and the Dan Fino band. All right, or about the Crash.
Yeah.
All right, but we will be right back. This is the Dirty Overhaul Rock Show.
Oh.